Hi everyone, it's Justine. I planned to film this video in summer. What I did not plan was that exactly this week, the south of France, where I live, would be on heatwave alert. So this video topic is very timely. It's also why I'm standing a little bit further away from you than usual, if you see what I mean. But let's do it anyway. Today I have 7 dressing tips to help you facilitate your survival in such conditions. Fabric away from the skin, first off. You'll be sweating no matter what, and deo will not prevent it. Let's be realistic. Loose-fitting clothing is the solution, particularly around the chest and the armpits, where it shows and gets very uncomfortable as soon as sweat is visible. In terms of shapes, look for wide summer dresses that sit on the shoulders, a bit like this top, and then flare out. So basically they touch you only on the shoulders. That's also called an A-line shape in maxi length, if you're looking for the exact terms for Google. Next up, light colors. Dark colors attract the heat, light colors reflect it. If we tend to wear more white and beige in summer, it's not just a trend or culture. There's a pragmatic reason as well. Anything from pure white to egg white, ivory, pearl, cream, sandy colors serve this purpose very well. You're welcome to take a screenshot of that page for future reference. Breathable materials. Notice that I'm not saying natural materials. There are many recent innovations in the fabric world, and it's not true anymore that natural fibers breathe well and synthetic fibers don't breathe well. It is not true anymore. All right, natural fibers still do a good job at breathability. Cotton is okay. Linen is better, but it tends to wrinkle. Silk is good, but sweat stains will be more visible on silk, so watch out. Even wool is good. It's a natural fiber. If the fiber is loosely knitted or woven so that the air can still circulate, that's working. I would also add lyocell or Tencel, the brand name, which has much better breathability than cotton. Better wicking properties too, meaning that it evacuates humidity quicker. Lyocell is amazing. It's a new development, natural origin, but with some modifications. And then among synthetic materials, look towards outdoor sports. The fabrics used for tennis shirts or trail running tops dry incredibly fast. They do not smell at all. It's amazing. And there are brands using recycled synthetic fibers for that, making it a viable option from a sustainability perspective too. Regardless of the fiber used, like cotton, linen, etc., the way it's woven or knitted also plays a role. Look at Seersucker with its airy pattern in the weave. Look at Batiste, which is the most lightweight there is. I think it feels like you're just wearing a cloud. Chiffon and Georgette are 2 weaves often made in silk. They feel super airy as well. All these names that I listed are great fabric choices during a heat wave. Breathable undergarments. I just spoke about the materials of your clothing, but what you wear underneath is just as important, logically. Underwear in synthetic lace, for instance, that doesn't breathe. That's 99% of the lace that you find in stores. Machine made in cheap polyester. No good. Sports underwear doesn't breathe either, unless it's high-end and high price. But so during a heat wave, I would focus on natural materials. It might look less sexy than the little lace number that you like, but it's so much more comfortable on the skin. Letting your feet breathe. In my region here in the south, I'm seeing tourists typically walking with tiny shorts, crop tops, spaghetti straps like this. So they're wearing the bare minimum, so far so good. But then they have socks and plastic shoes on. And I'm like, what? By plastic shoes, I mean mostly sneakers, often plastic. They do not let the feet breathe at all. Though in a heat wave, you need to protect your head from absorbing the heat, and you need to let your feet breathe. That's the basic rule. So the ideal summer footwear is open, for instance, sandals, made in fabric if possible, or knitted. Leather sandals work too if they're really open. A good rule is if your feet are sweating, you're likely wearing the wrong footwear. Adding and removing layers when needed. That is particularly true in countries like the US. I did my design studies in New York. On the street in summer, you feel like you're inside a toaster with humidity on top. Then you enter a building and there is air conditioning at 15 degrees Celsius. And that is just too much difference. So people who work inside buildings will dress for 15-degree weather and commute through New York dressed like it's fall or winter. And that's when you feel dizzy and collapse from the heat. The human body just cannot handle that kind of temperature range. So you really need to get into a habit of undressing when you're outside and adding layers when you walk into an air-conditioned place everywhere in the world. Repeat that process throughout the day And for that purpose, a lightweight cardigan or a large scarf are perfect. A cotton scarf is actually the lightest option to protect your neck and your shoulders from the cold. You wrap yourself in it when you're inside, and you can just stuff it in your purse when you leave the building. Use sunscreen, stay hydrated. This is not fashion advice, that's just survival advice. Thumbs up if you agree. But seriously, keep a water bottle next to you to make sure that you're drinking enough, because you're probably not. Especially if you're a tourist and you're spending your days outside visiting a region, you rarely hear a doctor saying, "You're drinking too much water, lady." That is not a thing. One more thing. I left the French heatwave for a few days. I'm currently traveling, and I'm extremely careful when using public Wi-Fi or hotels Wi-Fi. You should be careful as well if you're going somewhere this summer, because you don't want your passwords, your credit card data, or the files you download to get stolen while you're trying to enjoy your holidays and casually surfing the internet from a beach cafe. I've had a bad experience once. Since then, I protect my connection every time I'm using Wi-Fi which isn't my own. I use Surfshark VPN for that. It's an app which encrypts the data that you're sending and receiving to keep it safe and private. I have it on my laptop, my tablet, and my phone. You can absolutely use one single subscription for all the devices in your home, so it's actually a bargain. You just choose a country from the list, turn the VPN on, done. It's like I'm in France, even though I'm not. Surfshark is sponsoring this video and adding an extra 4 months for free if you sign up using my link down below in the video description. And the code to use at checkout is Justine Leconte. Conclusion. Stay in the shade, everyone. See you soon. Bye.